Miss Brooks. Miss Brooks, you're kidding, aren't you? You're not kidding? Has it ever occurred to you that I'm a pretty adult sort of person? Do you honestly think that it's going to further my education to write 100 times on that blackboard I shouldn't copy other people's examination papers?
I honestly don't know.
Now, you're a modern teacher, an up-to-date teacher. Why would you insist on a medieval thing like this?
It's funny, isn't it? I just had this overpowering whim. Every year around this time, I get these overpowering whims.
Oh, maybe it's a vitamin deficiency. You know, the coach was telling me...
The coach will be worried about you. Better start writing.
Miss Brooks, you know me. I'm not the cheating type. But Rhonda Allen wasn't exactly hiding her paper. In fact, she was...
She probably had a whim.
Probably.
Back to work.
Couldn't we tighten up this sentence a little bit? Make it a little bit more punchy, more direct to the point? How about just, I shouldn't copy?
That tightens it up.
How about just plain simple direct, I shouldn't?
But that doesn't give it the whole meaning. Shouldn't what?
You know, whatever I do. I shouldn't.
I thought you'd be hiding out here. You think I'd better? You got the boss monitoring it, even in the library. I put a senior in charge and got out. What's he doing here?
It's a whim.
Are you crazy? This is Ted Wilder. He should be in the gym practicing. Do you have a big bet against our basketball team? You mean Ted Wilder needs practice? I mean, the coach will probably frame you with a 16-pound discus. Oh, if he does, I'll just complain to the principal. Last time I heard, I don't think the principal would care. When was that? About 3 minutes ago. Has it ever occurred to you that when the daughter of a school board president enters the best case contest, it calls for a little consideration? I considered Rhonda Allen's name. I even considered Rhonda Allen. And then gave the prize to Jane Brew. Jane wrote the best thing. You said you considered Rhonda Allen. When that girl gets out of school, she'll meet hundreds of people who won't be the least bit impressed by her mother being president of the school board. I'm simply trying to prepare Rhonda for the future.
Do you mind if I say something?
Yes. You'd better be thinking about your own future. I am. I'm thinking about my near future. Have you ever thought about a vacation that's a vacation? All-expense cruise to San Juan, Caracas, Jamaica, or 11 days round trip to Haiti and Cuba, only $999. And up. I took a cruise like that once. 7 school teachers to every mail. For example, take the 4th day. In the morning, an English-speaking driver guide in a private car will conduct you on a sightseeing tour. You'll drive to a mountaintop resort, 7,000 feet above sea level, and stop there for lunch. The scenery is beyond description. You can see coffee, cacao, bananas, coconuts, sugar. You can feel that in a delicatessen. Mahogany and other tropical flora. Would you like to hear about the 5th day? The principal may be coming in soon. Don't you think it would look better if we were correcting papers or something? Miss Brooks, are you casting the senior play in here? Oh, no, dear. See Miss Audubon next door. I thought it was here. I've till the end of June to raise $999. And up. Where's the school teacher going to get money like that? Is that all you want out of life? A vacation. And a husband. I'd like them simultaneously. 7 school teachers to every mail. The odds are terrible. Now, if you consider going to Alaska, then maybe... The scenery is beyond description. Well, will you at least send Ted to basketball practice? Why do you do things like this? Is it because of your feud with the coach? It's more because I'm fond of Ted.
And I'm very fond of...
Back to work.
Yes, Miss Brooks.
I'm not the one who plays this year, and that means I don't have to choose the coach. Those battles over the use of the gym and a few of his precious athletes. No, the way that you and the coach went at it last year, I'm beginning to think there was something between the two of you. Between us? There was talk, you know. The trouble is there's no truth in it. Too bad. Isn't it? Well, Miss Audubon's always wanted to play, and now she's got it. And I wish her the best. Miss Brooks, are you casting playing here? No, dear, Miss Audubon's taking care of that. I thought it was here. I'd rather have Miss Audubon direct the play than band practice. You can hear the trombones all the way in the library. You want to hear it from where you're standing. The partition between me and the music room vibrates like a harp. This is a convenient location. Right next door you have the gym. From that side I hear healthy young voices raised to a shrill squeal. That reminds me. I need to get
Is that so?
Yes, that's so.
Boy, she's pretty cynical for a librarian. Yes, Miss Brooks.
They're having an awful lot of trouble casting a play. I don't even want to hear about it.
I should try out for that play.
You copy her. Don't worry, Dick. He's paying his debt this time.
I'd be good in the play. I get bored winning basketball games. You know, there's not much point in going on and on and on winning basketball games.
Oh, it must get tiresome. Why don't you vary your activities? Try a little study. In moderation, of course.
It might interfere with my hobbies.
He's always over at Rhonda Allen's messing with her father's sports car.
Well, a jag is hard to tune. How'd you know about that?
I just happen to know. And if you keep test driving that way, you're going to have an accident. Ted, why not try an act like this? You're worth saving. Your mind's not altogether a blank. No, it isn't. I mean, why would his mind be a blank necessarily? Jane, why aren't you trying out for the play? I don't have time. Studying and work and everything.
Isn't time? I've seen you all the time at basketball practice. Yes, I have. And during football season, too. I suppose you'll be hanging around during baseball.
I hang around a lot.
Anyway, you picked my 3 best sports. That's quite a coincidence.
It's quite a coincidence. Now, do you mind getting on with work?
Yes, Miss Brooks.
Did you get a chance to look over the second draft I made? I guess you've been pretty busy. Oh, I've marked it up a little. It's a lot better, but I'd still like to see you break up some of these longer sentences. Try a little variety in your sentence structure. Too much over and over again? I tell you what, why don't you miss basketball practice today? See what you can do with the typewriter in my office.
Might as well miss practice. After all, without me in there isn't much to see.
No, there isn't.
Does she strike you as a little bit peculiar?
She wants to be an English teacher someday.
Boy, she is peculiar.
There you are.
Right here, Coach.
You're late for practice. What are you doing?
Miss Brooks is trying to keep my mind from being a blank.
Your mind, a blank.
Not anymore. No, sir. I'm gradually becoming aware that I should not copy other people's examination papers.
There's nothing like an education.
It's really wonderful.
Cut out this nonsense, Ted. Get back to the locker room.
Not till we finish.
Oh, don't be silly.
I'm sorry, Hugo, but this is a matter of discipline.
Miss Brooks, a certain athletic coach named Hugo has enough problems. Miss Brooks, you're not really going to keep Ted Wilder from basketball, are you?
It bores him. He told me himself.
Bores him?
He can't see much point in, what was it, going on and on and on, winning basketball games?
Will we be much longer?
No, not much.
I'll wait. I have a few ideas of discipline myself.
Coach,
Yes?
won't they be missing you in the gym?
If they can do without you, they can certainly do without me.
Oh, I put it a little too strongly. Ted and I were just joking. He didn't mean anything seriously.
You better not have. Get on with it. Say, aren't these travel orders awful?
Awful.
I bet you're using them as examples of overwriting.
Overriding?
I bet those banana forts are really like.
No. Did you?
What do you think I do all summer?
Well, I thought summer camp or something.
Not me. I want a real vacation.
You do?
Take this. A person could waste $999.
You mean it's a waste?
You know you find a little cruise like that? School teachers, mobs of them.
Well, have you ever taken a trip like this?
Not me. I've got a little sailboat laid up in Florida. Got plenty of canned foods and everything I need on board. I just sail to the ports I want, missing the overcrowded, overpriced cruise towns. And it's cheaper than staying home.
Most people don't have a sailboat. What are most people supposed to do?
Well, first I'm going down by the Dry Tortugas, then to Martinique, and maybe even the Grenadines. I think I can get up to the Windward Passage.
Sounds like heaven.
It makes a vacation.
Martinique. The Grenadines.
You know, you're the last person I expect to be interested.
I am?
Come on, Ted, hurry up.
I'm having a hard time concentrating on the blackboard and at the same time keeping up with your conversation.
Try not to overtax your brain.
I'll try. You know, for some reason I had a very different impression of you.
This time of year she gets overpowering whims.
Keep working.
You know, those were some fights we had last year.
Couldn't help it though. We had to have a school
Athletic
play.
program.
These trips, you go all by yourself entirely?
The only way.
It's too bad you're not married. I mean, a wife can help you steer and things while you sleep.
Well, when I want to sleep, I just lash the wheel.
Yes, but still, she can fix you well-balanced meals and bring you cups of hot chocolate.
Meals? When I get out of the tourist belt, I just buy a stock of bananas and hang them on the rigging. Anytime I want one, I just reach out. Then I'll buy a basket of mangoes, and guavas, and oranges. In the morning, I'll slice a ripe piece of papaya, squeeze fresh lime juice all over it. Mmm. Talk about a vacation. First you breathe in all that clean, salt air. Then a little rain squall sweeps over one of the islands and goes right out to you. It's like the grenadine. Cruising. Say, I gotta get back to the gym. You'll send Ted along soon. Miss Brooks?
What was that?
You'll send Ted along soon?
Oh, of course, Ted.
You know, basketball practice?
Yes, he shouldn't be much longer.
Well, I certainly enjoyed talking with you. I hope we can do it again sometime.
Oh, we will. Miss Brooks, are you captain the play now? No, I'm not. Thank heaven. But I was told that it got switched back from you. It wasn't. Okay. I'm not going to be able to play this year. What a relief, not having to battle with the coach.
You know, it's almost as indescribable as tinkering this wastebasket.
Oh, be quiet. No, I might come along to basketball practice with James sometime soon.
You know, on a little sailboat, I bet the odds are almost as good as in Alaska.
You're not only a copier, you're an eavesdropper.
Well, one thing leads to another. Do you want me to copy another sentence?
No, I want you to go to basketball practice.
I think I should try out for that play.
Don't be silly.
Now, what's so silly about it?
I don't know. Offhand. The coach certainly wouldn't like it.
I'll be graduating pretty soon, and the coach is just going to have to...
Mr. Wadsworth.
I was wanting to talk to you about, what's he doing?
He's erasing the blackboard.
I could see that.
He's erasing the blackboard. He's helping me tidy up the classroom. He's helping me tidy up the classroom.
But that's Ted Wilder.
Yes, Mr. Wadsworth.
Did you have to take an important member of our basketball team?
I'm sorry. Mr.
You're
Wadsworth.
always making mistakes like that.
Mr. Wadsworth.
You're always making difficulties. What is it?
The school bus. It keeps coming earlier and earlier. I think you should, speak to the driver.
You're right. The bus is too early. I'll speak to the driver.
If you wanted to speak to me about the contest, there's no question who wrote the best theme.
I'm glad your decision was such an easy one. But I want to talk to you about the school play.
Miss Audubon's taking care of that. She's Cassie today.
Would you please run along? I know. Now, normally on the day the school plays being cast, I go home. I should have gone home today.
Any special trouble?
Miss Audubon has two girls weeping already.
Only one best role.
I think you should take over
With the girls?
with the play.
Give Miss Audubon a little more time. I'm sure she'll do a splendid job.
Miss Audubon was about ready to start weeping herself.
Mr. Wadsworth, I can't take over. Just like that.
Why can't you?
Well, for one thing, I don't have the extra time.
Besides, she promised to come out and root for the basketball team.
Basketball?
What's wrong with that?
I'm sure the athletic director can manage without you.
I'm sure he can too, only...
Only what?
Only, well, you see, the coach and I...
Now, don't worry about the use of the gymnasium. We can divide the time. There's no reason why you and the coach shouldn't get along fine.
But there will be, if I have to put on the play, please.
If you run into any difficulties, I can help straighten them out for you.
But I don't want to run into difficulties, not with him.
Now you're being uncooperative.
Mr. Wadsworth, I have so many papers to grade. Papers, endless papers, and I just finished judging the best theme contest. I have to judge a debate Friday and chaperone 2 dances next week alone. And more papers
You
to
think
grade.
you've got a hard job? What about me? Problems all day. Then the minute I get home, the phone starts to ring. It looks like snow. Will they be school tomorrow? The Oaks Club would like to use the gymnasium. Who's responsible for Albert not doing better in mathematics? Could you open up the door to the music room for me, please? The bus was too early. Why don't we teach more about the Civil War?
Miss Audubon especially wanted to direct the play,
Not anymore.
but she was so anxious.
Miss Audubon is a talented music director. And I decided it would be unwise to deprive the school band of her full-time attention.
When did you reach this decision?
It came to me when I was watching the trials.
Give Miss Audubon a little more time. She's very talented. Don't you remember the wonderful job she did with the Pirates of
keeps coming later and later. I think you should talk to the driver.
You're right. The bus is too late. I'll speak with the driver.
Miss Brooks, are trials going to be held here?
No.
Yes, and I think you should run along to tell the other students.
The bus isn't too late. It's too early.
Yes, I'll speak with the driver. Thank you. There's no one else. You've got to take over.
Mr. Wadsworth, I have a reason. A personal reason.
I should probably mention that Mrs. Allen of the school board recently drew attention to your lack of a master's degree.
I'll bet it was recent. Right after Rhonda Allen didn't win the best theme contest.
We have an excellent board, and the majority agree that your work has been quite satisfactory, especially after I pointed out how generously you give up your time to student activities.
Don't you want to direct us in the play, Miss Brooks? Of course I want to.
Well,
dear.
great. Then it's settled.
Just a minute.
We'll hear no more discussion. You're insubordinate.
Yes, General Eisenhower.
What did you say?
I said yes. I'll start this hour.
Oh.
Could you please speak to Coach for me so there won't be any cause for misunderstanding between us?
There's nothing to worry about. All you have to do is make sure that the athletic program doesn't interfere with the play, and that the play doesn't interfere with the athletic program.
But the
It's
trouble
so
with
simple.
that, you see, the trouble...
If you run into problems, I can help solve them for you. I'd better run along and explain things to Miss Audubon.
I don't even know what play was chosen.
You've got nothing to worry about there. I picked it out myself.
I hope it has an easy setting.
A wonderful setting. The mountains of Tibet.
The mountains of Tibet.
Shangri-La. It's called Lost Horizon.
I saw that movie version once. Man, was that a snowstorm. Snowstorm? And that airplane crash.
And Conway, climbing up the mountains through the terrible
You realize all of this has to take place at the east end of our gymnasium?
I'm sure it's all worked out in the book.
It calls for 7 men.
What of it?
7 men. That means I have to find 7 boys who aren't going out for basketball, or baseball, or intramural sports, who aren't going ice skating or to the movies, who aren't too shy or too busy, happen to be interested in dramatics, and in this particular play, and in the particular
I'm sure there's
part.
going to be some things you're going to have to work out for yourself. I remember the impression it made upon me. Conway, he was a great man.
The way I
Very-
remember it, the part calls for a disillusioned British diplomat. Who exactly did you have in mind from among this student body to play a disillusioned British diplomat?
I say, old girl, I'd like to take a crack at it.
Can't we do something simple and fun for all girls?
I'll have Miss Audubon send in everyone who's already auditioned.
Well, we've been prima donnas.
You know, I understand that Rhonda Allen is trying out.
Well,
Nothing at all.
I wish you'd hold them off for a few minutes so I can look over the play.
Miss Brooks, for once, I would like the play to be put on at this school without any troubles or difficulties.
Yes, Mr. Wadsworth, no trouble, no difficulties.
And I would like for you to get along with the athletic director this time.
I'll do my best. Honestly, I'll do my best.
Great. Now you're beginning to sound a little cooperative.
Miss Brooks, I don't want any more troubles or difficulties.
I want you to go to the gym. I've got to look over this play. Sorry, Jenny, I need the opera. Thanks for letting me use your typewriter.
Been doing a spalt of writing, what?
What? Exactly. What are you acting?
Characterization, old girl. I'm creating a character.
That's true. He's a character. Certainly is.
Hey, take it easy.
I see you finished.
Yeah, my debt's to society.
Just because Rhonda Allen practically held out her paper, you didn't have to copy it. If you had to copy somebody's paper, why didn't you look at mine?
I noticed it.
You did?
Yeah, all hunched up over it, like a strong wind was blowing.
I didn't notice you noticed. Maybe if I'd noticed.
I know where I've seen you. The lunchroom.
Naturally. She dipped some mashed potatoes into the little bowls and the coleslaw onto the plate.
I guess I gotta thank you. Those are pretty large helpings of coleslaw.
There's no use letting it go to waste. I just happen to be a person who hates to see coleslaw wasted. I bet that isn't the real reason.
What is?
School spirit, after all. Basketball team. Yeah.
Well, she sure has school spirit.
First, I was told it was not here. Now they say it's here again. I was told the same thing. Maybe, just maybe, plot. Nothing that happens at the high school is right. People sometimes do things when other people are trying out for a play. You know how people are. Terrible. What are you doing here?
All it's a matter between me and Miss Brooks.
Won't the coach be missing you?
Oh, he'll manage somehow.
Here's to the play. What fun. What deep down fun. Not a spirit of early rivalry. What a run and show of favoritism. It isn't fair. Imagine Rhonda Allen in person. The rest of us might as well go home. If there's one thing I hate, it's petty jealousy. Miss Audubon was showing favoritism. You didn't read a line and she gave you the best part. Maybe she knew what she was doing. I'm sure. What do you mean by that?
Miss Allen, do you think if I used the same kind of soap you use for 14 days, I could be beautiful, successful, like you are?
That's expecting a lot from a bar of soap.
Maybe if I used the same kind of soap your mother used.
A little soap wouldn't hurt you. Hello, Ted. Did you come to watch me try out?
Sure.
That was so sweet.
Excuse us.
Maybe we're in the way. Hey, know about the playbook. Oh, yes, ma'am. Missing basketball practice. I'm sure they're managing without him. Somehow. Well, I want to know, did the child start from the beginning, or if Miss Audubon left off? It's only fair to start from the beginning. I don't see the point. You wouldn't. Hi, Miss Brooks. Miss Brooks. Quiet, all of you. You'll be disturbing the basketball team. Now, before we get started with tryouts, I've got something for all of you. Sylvia, hand one out to each. And none of you is going to get the part you want. You're all going to be terribly disappointed and want to cry your eyes out. If any of you need any more Kleenex, feel free to help yourself. There's no charge. Now I'd like all the girls to line up over here. Let's go, all the girls. And I'd like all the boys to line.
Just me.
You should be in the gym.
I'm trying out.
Yes, but didn't any other boys report for tryout?
Well, I think maybe Santa will come. But, like, I'm not sure.
Looks like I have no competition.
Looks like it.
That means I get to lead.
That would be Conway. A tall, bronze Englishman, inclined to look brooding until he smiled. He is a brilliant, though disillusioned member of the British Foreign Service.
That's me.
Won't interfere with basketball. After all, the coach may need you.
I'll get plenty of practice in, and I can still be in the play too.
But the coach may feel differently. He may feel you need to be there.
I'll explain it to him.
Besides, you don't have anyone else. No. Having Ted play Conway, that will be perfect. You're sure it won't interfere?
Absolutely.
I hope not. The copies of the play, Miss Brooks. Oh, thank you, Jane. Hand them out to each, then we can get started with tryouts.
One for me too. I'm playing Conway.
You are? And I'm Helen. Oh. And there is still the formality of trying out for the part. Miss Audubon already gave it to me. I'm afraid that's my responsibility. What have you got against me? Nothing, Rhonda, dear. Won't you be the first to try out? Maybe it's better to be the last. All right, then, be last. No, I'll be first. I've only had time to skim the play, but I remember the story. Turn to page 111. Now, Conway has come to this beautiful, peaceful place called Shangri-La, and his companion is urging him to leave. Now, the leader there, who they call the High Lama, has died, and they've asked Conway to rule in his place. The very beautiful Helen, who lives there, is begging Conway to stay. Okay, you try.
You've got to stay, Conway. Shangri-La belongs to you. The High Lama...
Rhonda, not so fast. You're pleading with this man.
You've got to stay, Conway. Shangri-La belongs to you. The High Lama...
Rhonda, you're begging him, for his own good, and because you're fond of him. Now, try it again, slowly. Take it a little further on.
You belong here, and I want you to stay, too.
He says, Helen.
Helen.
She kisses him lightly and says, don't go.
Don't go. I want you to stay.
Very good, Rhonda. I'm sure with practice, I'm sure with enough practice, you'll do very well.
Oh, boy. How wonderful to be Rhonda Allen.
Then it's settled. If no one else wishes to try out for this role, we'll get on to the other parts. The other parts are quite interesting, and I think that everybody will find them. Yes.
Can I try
Jane, considering everything, I really don't
I
like
don't see why she can't try out. I mean, these are tryouts.
Of course, any of you's welcome to try. Well, go ahead.
You've got to stay, Conway. Shangri-La belongs to you. The High Lama saw something in you that made him believe you were the one to lead us. And I think I see it too.
He says Helen.
Helen.
She kisses him lightly and says, don't go.
Don't go.
Does anyone else wish to try out for this role?
You're not going to give her that part. You're not the director. It's up to Miss Brooks. You already gave her the Best Theme Award.
Maybe it was the best theme. It sure was the best reading.
Well, if you want my
I
opinion.
don't. She's your favorite, that's all.
If there's one thing I hate, it's petty jealousy.
That's enough, Margaret. There's enough for you too.
Why you're smart.
Well,
My mother especially wants me in this play.
and you'll be in the play, Rhonda, but I think we'll try Jane in the part of Helen. And there are lots of wonderful parts in this play. Two attractive English girls, Alyssa and the exquisite Chinese girl, Miss Sprinkle, a missionary, and it's a real acting opportunity. If we can't find a few more boys, some of their parts are going to be open, and they're all exceptional.
I don't want any part but Helen.
Rhonda, please.
I don't care.
But some of the other
I
parts.
don't want any part but Helen.
Why don't you study your play?
I'm sorry. I wouldn't have cared if you'd given the part to anyone but her. It's just I can't stand favoritism.
Take it easy, Rhonda.
It isn't a question of favoritism, it's a question of judgment.
I've heard that a master's degree is a real help to better judgment.
Hey, Rhonda.
It's all right. She's just upset. Only natural.
I'd say she's a little bit more burned up.
Sizzling.
Maybe I should go down and cool her off. Maybe I should get down and cool her mother off. Maybe. I have a date with Rhonda Saturday night.
Yeah, her and her father's sports car.
Boy, that's a beauty.
Miss Brooks, you might as well let her have the part. It doesn't make any difference.
Listen to me, Jane. You've got the part, and you'd better be a credit to my judgment. Now, if
Miss
there are any
Brooks,
more objections...
Where's Ted?
Right here, Coach.
Well, she's still keeping you.
Well, in a way. You
Miss
see,
Brooks?
Just a moment. We'll continue tryouts in the east end of the gymnasium. Go along.
Wait a minute, there's basketball practice in the gym.
I'm entitled to the east end. Go along.
You
Study
stay
your
here,
puzzle.
Ted.
We'll try it. If it gets too noisy, we can always come back here. I'll be there in a minute.
Now, explain.
You go, please.
I can't understand why you're still keeping Ted.
well, she's not. Not exactly.
Then what are you doing?
The play.
The play?
Ted decided to try out for the play.
You didn't give him a part.
Hugo, I have to find 7 boys for this play.
You didn't have to take the best player of the basketball team.
Well, I didn't suggest it.
But you got him anyway. Full of low down tricks.
He said it wouldn't matter. He said he could get in plenty of practice.
Sure, Coach.
I can work things out in rehearsals.
It'll be swell, Coach. I play a disillusioned member of the British Foreign Service.
I'm getting pretty disillusioned myself, and I certainly have the wrong impression of you.
No other boys turned out for tryouts.
Just a short while ago, I was thinking that you. That you.
Yes?
Ha! I want to sure you don't get a fair amount of gym time.
Oh, don't try to take it all like you did last year.
Oh, like I did.
It seems to me you're being ridiculous. Just because one of your athletes would rather be in the play, it doesn't give you grounds to jump conclusions about a person.
I'm not jumping to conclusions.
You certainly are.
Oh, yeah? Well, what about that little girl that just came away from here crying? I bet she was jumping to conclusions, too.
You don't understand.
I'm beginning to.
I thought you'd be casting in here.
She's using part of my gym.
I'm sorry, Miss Osborne.
Well, since you've had the play taken away from me, you might as well take mine too.
Had the play taken away from Miss Audubon?
I didn't. It's just that Mr. Wasler felt that band practice was so important, it required your full attention.
Well, I had a few band practice. Don't think you're fooling me.
Or me.
Going behind my back.
Going
is
behind
all
her
right.
back, making a little girl cry, tricking me out of my athletes. I'm glad I found out about you.
Hugo,
I don't know what you said to Mr. Wadsworth, but it's certainly worth wondering.
wonders.
Of course, you win.
Me win because of the play?
Mr. Wadsworth sent me down. I want you to take care of a couple things. I want you to make sure the tickets get printed, make sure it's practice but inexpensive. I want you to take care of the setting too, make it colorful and appropriate, which I love. Yeah. Then there's the question of making the programs, advertising the play, making costumes, collecting props, and so on and so forth. Am I boring you? And another thing, as I keep running out of this office, I saw Rhonda Allen was charging in.
banana sort of like. Oh, yeah, I better get on with the trial. What is this? What's going on?
Oh, don't mind us, Miss Brooks. They said you was part of the gym. You was part of your English group.
Get out! Get out! I win!
Is it on now?
No?
It must be on. Something's wrong here.
Oh, that genius. I'm gonna leave it for Mr. Brooks.
Here they are. Two Chinese flavors. Check. Well, this one has a carrot, but maybe Miss Brooks will know how to bend it. What's next? A bicycle. Hey, Stanley. You're supposed to leave your bicycle here until after the play.
But I need my bicycle.
Miss Brooks said it's required.
Damn, why should we share a wall?
Ask the High Llama.
My son, we must keep safe the treasures of civilization behind the mountain of Shangri-La. What treasure of civilization turns to your bicycle?
You think that's why she wants it?
How do I know? She's too kid.
I'm surprised you took out time from basketball practice to be in the play.
Ed kind of talked me into it.
So what did he say?
First he mentioned the need for someone to play the high law. Then he went on to say what a great act you have. And then he went on to say that if I didn't try out, he'd kick my teeth.
There, wait.
Well, I was going to try out this part anyway.
Like, this was all I could get. Snowflake. Why snowflake? Why a bicycle? I saved the bill. Okay, collect Miss Brooks. I saw Jane in the hall today. She was trying to look as though nothing happened. How's she supposed to look? She got fired from her lunchroom job. We heard. Somebody reported she was ditching out unequal forces. Playing favorites. Favorites. Head ladder. They should consider all she's doing for the play. Now you're supposed to get a long piece of 10 from the manager. A long piece of 10? Yeah, hurry up.
Why should Ned Robert be entitled to special consideration?
No one said he is. Better get those lights set up.
That's easy to say. You should see the list I have. I got footlights, border lights, spotlights, strip lights. Miss Brooks will have to take over. I'm no electrician.
It's a good thing Miss Brooks is an electrician.
I'm doing the best I can.
Who do you think told on Jane? Making a person lose her job, that's a low-down trick. I got the grapes, but somebody's going to have to sew on the hooks. Okay, who do you have in mind? I don't know, maybe Miss Brooks can do it. Okay, I'll tell her.
Where's Miss Brooks?
She's still working on stage. We're going to speak to her about our part. We don't need to wear any costumes. Maybe she can revise them a little.
Did you see the costume Rhonda Allen gets to parade around in?
So her mother sent to New York.
It helps convince Rhonda that Loson's the best part and everybody's happy.
I'm not happy.
And neither am I, and I'm going to take it up with Miss Brooks. It looks like a number of things is going to be taken up with Miss Brooks.
I thought the painting was all done.
Not quite. Jane, I read about the lunchroom. I'll have more time for the play. And after, I don't care about after. Yeah, no. You get the grades, fine. Yeah, I got it. That's really good.
Is rehearsal about to start?
Good, probably.
My mother's going to watch. You must have finished up early at the lunchroom.
I finished up all right. You know she got fired. Somebody reported she was ditching out unequal portions.
I saw you. When Ted held his plate, you gave him 3 Swiss steaks. Don't you think 3 Swiss steaks is being a little obvious?
I like Ted. I guess it's obvious.
Remember, aren't you saying to each other, they're just in the play. It's all over Saturday night.
I'll remember, but it won't ever be over. Not for me. Gosh, all this pain.
You know, Rhonda, the nice thing about you, you are so subtle. You're not at all obvious.
Thank you. My mother brought 2 authentic Chinese vases to decorate the stage.
Well, any president of the school board is welcome to attend rehearsal on the presentation of 2 authentic Chinese vases.
Maybe this is the problem.
Hey, out of that light! You are blinding me!
I'm sorry, ma'am.
That's quite all right. I was just a little troubled.
Won't you sit down?
Thank you.
Mrs. Allen, I'm in charge of the crop. Would you like me to take these?
Is it Miss Brooks here to supervise?
No, not at the moment.
She's doing some work on stage.
This isn't a storeroom. It's a classroom.
The stage is next door. It's a very convenient location.
Well, why aren't the rest of you dressed for rehearsal? Rhonda's the only one with her costume.
Please, Mother. The rest of us are working on the play in other ways too, Miss Allen. The setting, assembling the props, things like that.
Why aren't you helping? I'm supposed to be an aristocratic Chinese girl. An aristocratic Chinese girl has very long fingernails.
That's okay. The rest of us can manage the work without her.
There's no reason why any of you should carry an unfair load. After all, this is one of Miss Brooks' projects. She gets paid for it. She gets paid less than a dog catcher. What was that?
Nothing, I just said less than a dog catcher. What a lovely pair of vases.
I thought these vases would add a bit of authenticity to the set.
Oh, but they're too valuable.
Miss Brooks, I've gone to a great deal of trouble.
Of course, and you're very kind. Thank you, Mrs. Allen, on behalf of the entire cast. Elsie, dear, put these in my office. Okay.
Your dress seems a little inappropriate for a teacher at this school.
I don't wear it during school hours. I've been painting flat.
Doesn't all this clutter upset your classwork?
A little.
If you won't be starting rehearsal soon, I think I'll go see Mr. Wadsworth.
When I put the vases on the desk, I knocked over the flowers, so I removed the hyacinth.
Oh, Elsie, you gave me such a scare.
Oh, I'm so sorry about the hyacinth.
The hyacinth. Oh,
Miss Brooks, is this the right
Miss
color
Brooks,
for the string?
I need my pocket
Miss Brooks, can I relate?
one at a time, one at a time.
Miss Brooks, Bates and I are not satisfied with our part. They aren't big enough.
I guess that means I'll have to find someone else.
No, we didn't mean anything like that.
Everyone in my family already bought tickets.
Then stop being so silly and listen. I'm just a tired old English teacher with troubles of my own. I wish you wouldn't add to my misery.
We didn't do anything.
Someone was seen smoking in the hall after rehearsal, and it was brought to my attention. Forcefully. And then someone got home extra late after rehearsal and told her mother she'd been kept here reading lines till midnight. That was also brought to my attention.
You didn't say we got out at 10 o'clock, did you?
I took the rap, but I'd like to mention that I managed to get into enough trouble all by myself. I don't require any outside assistance.
You mean you're the coach?
Yes, I mean me and the coach. This play goes on in a week. You'll all have to work harder.
I'm ready to go over and over my lines.
I was thinking of less aesthetic tasks, such as lettering posters, getting ads to the program, locating furniture, setting up lights, painting flats. Jane and I can't do it all. What about the rest of you?
We've got dates and things.
What's a girl to do?
Well, last night I made a cue sheet, went over the prop list, did the layout for the program, worked out some lighting problems, then I relaxed, made some coffee, and graded 64 English papers. Well, maybe I'd rather have been out on a date myself.
You? On a date? You're over 30.
Medical science advances so fast, I may have 2 or 3 more useful years.
I bet it's the coach.
You're never going to get anywhere if you keep fighting with them.
According to an article in Cosmo, you have to be interested in a man's hobby.
Thanks, I read the same article.
And you keep on fighting with them.
You should demonstrate genuine knowledge on his favorite subject, and then ask his opinion about it.
I think it's high time this class is graduated. Now, do you mind if we get on with work?
Here it is, but what is it?
For the play.
Miss Brooks, all these things, you know what they're for. Socially.
And why my bicycle?
Sound effects.
Don't most schools use sound effects? Wrecker?
Most schools allow funds for such purposes.
What kind of sound effect?
Doris, you do that. You might as well see. Stanley, turn your bike over and start pumping. Elaine, get me a box of soap flakes. Open it.
What are you going to do?
Demonstrate.
Get a small piece of wood and hold it against the bike.
You're not going to fight, are you?
Just start pumping. Now, Doris, with the wood, just touch them. So that's not just the wood on the bicycle wheel. It's the wood of the plane flying from center off. There's a storm raging. You can hear the thunder. It's jamming the plane. It's
What's going on here?
I was demonstrating.
I can see that.
I was showing them how to work some of the effects for the play.
There must be a more organized, dignified way of doing such things.
Oh, there is. Sound system, mixers, amplifiers, records. But the way I do it is just you'll be surprised how well this will turn out when I'm
By the time it will be too late to make any changes.
Perhaps you would like to wait in my office.
Why don't you all go along to the gym? Try to start back 3. Sylvia, you can come.
If you're keeping them until after midnight, I would expect you to be a little farther along.
Mr. Wadsworth, about that.
Never mind, Marge. Go along. Try to keep them from annoying the coach.
I'm glad you began to give some consideration to our athletic director.
Oh, I consider him a lot.
Then I wish you'd quit snapping at each other.
So do I.
Then why don't you? And why don't you get along better with Miss Audubon? And for heaven's sake, why don't you get along better with Mrs. Allen? Well,
Maybe it's because I'm nervous about the play. Saturday night, every folding chair in the gymnasium is going to be filled with an aunt, uncle, mother, father, cousin, board member, the entire PTA, all expecting the Theater Guild production.
Saturday, it had better be good.
I have got to have some quiet, uninterrupted rehearsal.
But you've got this room and the entire Easton Gymnasium. What's stopping you?
In the music room, trombones, cornets, tubas, and in there, basketball players, dribbling through the stage, shouting and giggling. Don't be nervous. Go on, kiss her.
I don't want a lot of kissing.
No, Mr. Wadsworth.
You may not realize it, but you've got other things to do. You've got to get costumes and get the program ready.
I realize.
You've got to get some of this stuff done. I can't do everything.
Oh, it's a good thing I can.
I don't want you spending a lot of money.
You've mentioned that.
Now, last year, you came in with a huge list of expenses and most of the ticket money spent. How much has been taken this year?
Jane's in charge of tickets. The last time she told me it was about $300.
Jane Drew? We've had troubles with that girl. You better take personal charge of this fund. That is a lot of money to leave with a student.
If it wasn't for Jane and maybe Ted Wilder, nothing would get done. They're a big help.
Now, I've heard Ted's grades have dropped off a little. I don't want this acting thing to make him ineligible.
Well, he's carrying quite a load in addition to the play. Let's see, there's homework, some basketball practice, tuning in a sports car, and going steady with 2 girls.
Rhonda, Allen, and who else?
Jane.
Why does that girl keep popping up? The best theme award, the best part of the play, and now this. She's infuriating Mrs. Allen's daughter.
Her only daughter.
I'm warning you, Brooks. I've got to deal with Mrs. Allen day in and day out on matters that really affect the welfare of this school. I will not have her antagonized over something that is completely unimportant.
She has no cause for antagonism.
And as tactfully as I can put it, that's what I told her. I told her that you got my full confidence, and that I feel you do an excellent job with this play. And by heaven,
Yes, Mr. Wadsworth.
I don't want any more difficulties. Not any.
No, Mr. Wadsworth.
You wanted to see me, Mr. Wadsworth?
In my office.
Now or later?
It doesn't matter. I've got to find out why the basketball team made such a poor showing on Saturday.
They won.
By 2 points from a weak opponent. I hear the teamwork was sloppy. I suppose you've got an excuse?
I'm afraid not. We'll just have to do better next time.
I was hoping to give me something that I could tell people.
I wish I could.
It's the rehearsals. Ted Wilder doesn't work out with others, and it interferes with proper practice.
Is this true?
Well, naturally, certain activities take time away from other activities.
Well, then Ted Water better drop the play.
Mr. Wadsworth, no. It goes on in a week. Someone would have to memorize lines, stage directions. Please, Mr. Wadsworth.
I can spare Ted till after Saturday. I don't really need him till Monday afternoon.
This play is behind all of my troubles.
I'm awfully sorry. Thanks, Hugo. If he would have taken Ted, he would have wrecked the play.
Well, thanks for getting me off the hook on that game. We didn't do very well.
again. It's all my fault.
I wouldn't really say that.
The trouble is, it's true.
Oh, come on now.
I don't wonder you've come to hate me.
Hate you? Hey, listen. Just because I blow my top from time to time doesn't mean I hate you.
You don't?
Of course not.
That's good, because there is something I wanted to discuss.
With me?
Yes. There were some questions I wanted to ask you about your hobby. About sailing.
Sailing?
That is your hobby.
You bet it is. But I thought you were only interested in cruise ships.
And visit banana ports?
You know they mark up prices when cruise ships come in?
That's very interesting.
Well, it certainly is for a guy on the budget.
I've been on a budget all my life, and you'd be surprised at what an economical shopper I am. A meat market or a grocery store, take advantage of a man every time. But if he has a woman to do his shopping...
Well, I just stay away from the high-priced towns.
Yes, but what do you do around here?
Eat the cafeteria.
A person should have home-cooked meals. Funny thing, but I'm never too tired to fix a steak, chop, dessert, vegetables. Sometimes I bake.
Oh, you said you wanted to ask me something about sailing?
Yes. This sailboat of yours, is it yawl, ketch, or schooner?
Sweet little catch.
Is it gaff rigged or Marconi?
Marconi.
I always like gaff rigged because the center of effort is lower on the sail.
Very few people know that.
Well, naturally, anyone who's had a lifelong interest in sailing.
Lifelong interest? A gaff rig is strong, but when a person sails alone, a Marconi is easier to handle.
Yes, but a person may not always sail alone.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. And maybe it would be nice to have someone along, or just find someone.
There's so much someone could do. Fix meals, tidy the cabin, take care of shopping. Two can sail as cheaply as one.
You're right. I ought to hire a cook.
But that would be so expensive.
Well, maybe I can get one to go along, just for the trip.
Obviously, you've never heard of the AFL or the CIO. What you need is cheap labor. What you need is a wife.
Me?
That's just the observation of a disinterested observer.
A wife? You're crazy.
Mark my words, one day you'll be out in the middle of the Gulf Stream, all alone, and you'll start talking to yourself.
I already started to talk to myself.
You see?
I guess it would be nice to have someone along, to help with the cooking and shopping. But what a person really needs, someone to see things with, to wonder with, about what might happen tomorrow.
It's hard to enjoy things all by yourself, even around here.
After school, in rehearsal, are you by yourself a lot?
You? I always dream about taking a real vacation, but I end up as a summer camp counselor. What do you see when you're on sailing?
Oh, nothing special. Porpoises cutting through water, jellyfish floating by, maybe a black-footed albatross flying overhead. It seems like it hardly moves a wing. You come up on a strange island. It seems like nothing more but a dark outline against the sky. And you start to wonder what it's going to be like.
What's it going to be like?
That's about the time I start talking to myself.
It might get worse. You should get married.
Where would I find a wife that would stand school 3 seasons and then want to go sailing? You seem to know so much about sailing. I bet you've been interested for a long, long time.
I can honestly say that as a child of 5 or 6, one of my favorite toys was a model sailboat.
Thanks, Brooks. After rehearsal night, would you like to go for a walk or maybe catch a late movie?
Why do you go?
Imagine, you're already interested in sailing at the age of 5 or 6. Makes me mad of all the time we wasted fighting.
It makes me mad too. Just think, we could have been talking about
Sailing, navigation, seamanship. I bet you know more about it than I do.
Not yet, but she will. I found 2 more books on it. Similar size, the influence of sea power on history. But I'm not sure the influence of sea power on history is the kind of book you had in mind.
Yes, thanks a lot.
ABCs of sailing?
Suddenly she's been reading up on the subject. I've been combing the library.
Sort of a refresher course.
Refresher.
The ABCs?
It's actually very advanced. It really should be titled the, MNOPQ.
Say, I better get back to the gym.
Hugo, that's the date for later?
Sure.
Did I say something wrong?
I don't know. Yes.
I thought he was interested in sailing.
He is. He's not just a muscle man. He's sensitive and understanding, and he observes things.
What kind of things can he observe?
Things like porpoises, jellyfish, albatross, they float by.
You want to teach jellyfish?
Just imagine teaching at the same school as your husband, and every summer sailing off. You come up on a strange island, and you wonder what it's going to be like.
And then you get there and find out what it's like. No sanitation, sand flies, a sunbathed misery.
That doesn't scare a summer camp counselor with 6-year seniority.
Does Mrs. Allen scare you? I know if she were on my staff, she would scare me.
More fuss with the school board?
You better be thankful the rest of the school board is so understanding. But if I were you, I'd take things smooth and quiet for now.
I'm trying. I'm really trying.
Miss Brooks, they're passing basketballs back and forth across the stage.
I tell them to get out of the east of the gymnasium politely.
I already told them.
It's all right. Ted already made a move.
I tell the others I'll be right in.
I better get back to the library. The trombones will be starting soon.
They usually hold off till I begin rehearsal.
Just remember, smooth and quiet. Is anything wrong with rehearsal?
Simultaneous basketball practice and band music.
It's such a wonderful play. We shouldn't let anything interfere.
With all the ruckus, how can you tell?
I can tell.
Would it still be wonderful if Ted wasn't in it?
I guess not.
I see.
You do?
I do.
Just tonight, when it comes to that part, it'll be all over.
Still, you'll be seen in basketball, baseball, from the grandstand.
He'll notice me about as much as one of the wooden benches.
I hear you're a bit lavish with the Swiss tape.
You know if he knows? I'm going to tell him I came into a bit of money or something. I don't want him feeling sorry for me. Show him a little of the ticket money.
Jane, speaking of the ticket money, Mr. Wadsworth thought I'd better take personal charge this time.
It'll be released. I have a record of how many tickets and how much money they turned in. I don't know if it's at home or in my locker.
I'd better get it to you tomorrow. Mr. Wadsworth suggested it, and he's a bit excitable these days.
You should have heard him go on at me. I thought he was going to be expelled.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that job. I think I might be able to find you some work babysitting.
Could you?
It doesn't pay much, but then you want to be an English teacher someday. Better get used to poverty.
We better get on with rehearsal.
Still no French horn. If I could just have one quiet, uninterrupted rehearsal. Just one.
Just one?
At least then I could see what the play's like. Get a perspective on it.
All set to try to snow effects past the window.
Good.
How to chase those basketballers again. Don't worry, they're just fooling around. The coach didn't call a regular practice for today.
If it's not a regular practice, why let them mess around?
Well, what can you do?
Take the basketballs, walk to the Miss Brooks' office.
You're crazy.
He said it wasn't a regular practice. If he took the basketballs...
What do you think?
Well, of course, I'd be glad for one quiet rehearsal.
You want me to grab all the basketballs?
Yes, go get them.
I don't know about this.
He said it wasn't a regular practice, didn't he?
Yes.
Said you needed a perspective, didn't you?
Yes. We should have that quiet rehearsal today. It's just that I get nervous.
So do I.
Nothing to it. I just said I needed them.
Great, put them in here.
Be careful of those Chinese vases.
The what?
The Chinese vases. Oh, Ted.
I'm awfully sorry.
Oh, Ted.
The mason jar with the paper clips and rubber bands. I just didn't see them all.
The mason jar.
Well, do you want me to clean it now?
We'd better take advantage of the momentary lull in the gym.
We could still be interrupted. I'll be right back.
Now what?
Maybe she's going to lock up Mr. Wadsworth.
You know, for me sort of person, she seems to get very...
I'm surprised you noticed.
I seem to be getting very democratic.
Isn't Rhonda Allen more your type?
She's just a girl.
I hear Jane gave you quite a deal on the 75-cent school lunch.
Well, I happened to mention I was hungry. You know, if she doesn't watch out, she can get in real big trouble dishing up portions like that.
Would surprise me a bit.
Holy cow!
I don't think anybody saw me. Quick, open the door.
Oh, Jane.
Now we'll have a real rehearsal.
Show must go on.
Oh, my heavens.
crowded in there. What are you going to do?
What can I do?
It's my idea. I'll take the blame.
You're in no position to take on any more blame. We'd better start rehearsal. I'll go round up the others. We'll have it right here.
Well, don't you want me to try the snow effects past the gym?
I'll do it by myself later. You take care of her.
Are you mad at me?
Of course not.
I want to thank you for those Swiss steaks.
You're welcome.
Tomorrow I only want 2.
I can't help tomorrow. I quit my job.
Quit your job?
I came into a bit of money. I won't need to worry about it anymore. But since I'm so used to working, I was thinking of taking up babysitting. I've heard it's pretty interesting.
It is?
Some people don't mind if you help yourself with the refrigerator.
Well, what's that got to do with me?
Some people don't mind if boys sit with girls who sit with babies.
Well, anytime I really want a full refrigerator, I just drop in on them.
I know.
Is there anything wrong?
Everything.
I thought you just came into a large sum of money.
Well,
You're doing this real swell job in the part of Helen.
you think so?
Yes. I mean, you really put feeling in it. If I were Ashley Conway, and you were Ashley Helen, and we were Ashley in Shangri-La, and you asked me not to go, I wouldn't.
You'd stay?
Well, if you asked me like you did in the play,
You mean don't go?
then you...
I already know that part.
Don't you think we had to rehearse now?
I know.
Are you sure?
You belong here, Conway, and I want you to stay.
Rehearsal! Calling rehearsal!
We should use the gym.
Miss Brooks says here.
It's a really small play.
Lost Horizon. I'll never forget. Some things a person just would never forget.
Uh-oh. What's going on?
Rehearsal.
Is that all?
No, it isn't.
Miss Brooks says get ready.
Clear off the note face. She's going to take it through right from the beginning.
That means my part face part away.
Oh no!
What do you think you're doing?
No, forget it. Let's get going.
I asked you a question. Hey, how about doing a little work?
Yeah, for the common people. It's so nice and quiet today. We're going to start rehearsal soon.
In a hurry.
Come on.
Quiet! All of you, quiet! Where is she? I know she's responsible. Where is she?
You mean Miss Brooks?
You know very well. I'm going to go get Mr. Wadsworth.
What got into her? Who knows? Maybe there's a reason. Wow.
You see the way the sofas are, the fans want it someplace.
Like a blizzard to that?
They're all over the gym floor.
Leave them up.
When it hurt you, leave it for the janitor. Or Miss Brooks.
The janitor and Miss Brooks have enough to do. Let's get started. We'll try to start Act 1. Everybody in this act stand over here, and everyone else take a seat over there. Let's go.
Yes, Miss Audubon was just looking for you.
She'd be very upset.
Well, I guess we might as well get started. Anyway, well, we can. Faith, we'll use this chair and pretend there's a table in front of you.
Miss Brooks,
Yes, Hugo.
that sofa's the gym floor, but ready for another dance.
Oh, I'm awfully sorry. You see,
That's all right. I wanted to ask about something else.
I understand you have no regular basketball practice today.
Yeah, I called a special study.
I don't believe it. You'll see, it wouldn't surprise me one bit.
Miss Brooks, I feel kind of funny asking this and all, but do you have any idea what banishments are?
That's funny. I was just going to ask her if she knew what the basketballs were.
The basketball, too?
Miss Brooks, I'm asking you a direct question. Do you have any idea what banishments and basketballs are? I'm speaking with Miss Brooks.
They're in my office.
You see?
Your office.
Basketballs too?
Will you look at them, please?
I will.
We'll discuss this at the next board meeting.
I agree.
I broke it.
Broke what?
One of the Chinese vases.
Oh, my Chinese was.
Do whatever you want.
I'd better get the basketball.
That was a valuable vase. I warned her, too. I warned her especially.
Accidents do happen.
Accidentally on purpose.
Here you are.
The other one! She did it on purpose! You all saw her, and so did Jane! My valuable vases. There is over $100. What are you going to do about it?
What are you going to do about her? Are
students joining the gym. Everyone go on, move it, go!
I can't understand why you do a thing like this. I mean, the way we talk.
It was my idea.
She knew all about it.
I did. We just wanted to have one quiet, uninterrupted rehearsal. Just one.
You'd think the play was the only thing that matters.
We just wanted one rehearsal, and it does matter.
Quiet, Jane.
Have you taken the ticket money over from this girl yet?
Not yet.
I specifically
I
told you.
didn't have it.
Didn't have it?
I don't know where I left it exactly.
You don't know. You don't know. You left $300?
Holy cow, Jane, is that the money you just suddenly came into?
Yes, I mean no.
The ticket money?
I didn't.
Of course not. Of course
You.
not.
You've got money misplaced. Interfere with basketball practice. Hidden banishments. What am I going to do?
Well, none of the soap that you scared on the gym floor? Well, Martin just fell. I think he sprained his knee.
Soap flakes that you scattered? Now somebody's hurt. Oh!
We'll discuss this in the next board meeting. Come along, Rhonda. Coming.
Right with you. I thought it was foolish of you to mess with the basketballs and band instruments. But to play around with the ticket money?
I didn't.
You don't understand.
I guess I don't understand either. Tell me one thing, honestly. Did you really have a lifelong interest in sailing? Or did you just read up on it? Just now.
I just read up, but Hugo, please.
Come on, Ted, let's take a look at Martin's brain.
Yeah, right with you.
Conway, Ted, don't go.
Yeah, be seeing you around.
Are you sure you still want to be an English teacher someday?
Since I'll never have a husband or anything, what else is there for an old maid?
I wish I knew.
Mr. Wasburn. Slipped and fell to the floor. Just like a ton of bricks.
Jane, do I look like a Tibetan serving girl?
Yeah. No.
Now,
Yeah, now you do. I can't remember my lines. I have forgotten all my lines.
They'll come to you.
What if they don't? What do I do then? You'll just stand there like a big dummy. My mother and father are coming. Plus my two aunts and my Uncle William. Current 30 minutes. 30-minute call.
30 minutes?
I forgot my part. Better tell Miss Brooks. No, don't go by me, Miss Brooks. You'll remember Miss Lexer. It seems to me Miss Brooks went to a lot of unnecessary worry. Everything got done. Everything got tended to.
Oh yeah, a little troop of elves came in last night and helped us finish up the work.
She really did look tired of class today.
Mark, do I look, like a Tibetan serving girl?
Yeah.
Let me try with an eyebrow.
Still, dear, you better be ready for that comp book.
Just concentrate on the first line. You didn't find a rehearsal.
That was some audience this afternoon.
The school board.
They made me nervous. They didn't say anything. When it was over, they just blacked out.
Yeah, Rhonda told me they went to a special meeting.
We just looking on the curtain. The gym's half full already.
Everybody's read the book, now they want to see the play. Boy, I have to sit down.
Nervous?
I'm just pain in my side.
Have you forgotten your lines?
Let me think. Oh, gosh.
Don't worry, just relax.
I can't relax, it hurts.
If you forgot your lines, what would you do?
I'll have these notes where the audience can't see.
Now I know how you pass history.
Take it easy, I don't feel so good.
No! How much longer? 27 minutes!
He's gone. He's gone.
What?
Wow, thanks. Wow, I thought dress rehearsal was pretty good today. What do you guys think?
How could you tell?
Nobody knows.
All I know is right afterwards I started getting cramps.
It was great. Stop spazzing.
I know one scene that was really something.
Ted and Jane.
Were they supposed to be acting or what?
Looks to me like she meant it.
Just watching them, it made me embarrassed.
On stage, they don't even speak to each other.
But on stage,
What about it?
wow,
Very realistic performance.
it doesn't mean a thing.
Very convincing.
It's just acting.
Is it?
A person shouldn't be allowed to take advantage of a part in a play like that. It wouldn't surprise me if Miss Audubon directs the play after this.
And I suppose you have a hot tip from the board meeting.
I suppose this person doesn't work hard enough.
I just said it wouldn't surprise me.
That's fine. Just leave the fair fuses there by the box.
Thanks. How are you all feeling? Terrible?
I have a pain.
So have I. Doris, when you carry cups that are supposed to be filled with tea, remember, you carry them carefully. They'd weigh something so the tea wouldn't spill. Oh, Rhonda, don't talk in front of Marge when she's speaking. And Marge, when someone's talking to you on stage, listen. And after them to speak in turn, you speak in response. What's this?
My line. I can't remember.
You know them. Mrs. Brooks.
LC. I don't have the prompts. Right, NK.
Don't be too quick with your prompting. Allow time for natural pauses.
Elaine's father's giving the cash ball coach if they want. It's set us out of the way. In Miss Audubon's room.
Miss Audubon's is mine?
I guess not.
Any of you want to count?
Yeah.
Go along. Relax for a few minutes and try not to think about the play. Sylvia, you keep track of time.
Miss Brooks, is there anything more I can do?
You're going to want to help. Just make sure nothing go wandering off.
Thanks, Miss Brooks. 22 minutes. How did dress rehearsal go?
I can't tell. I'm too close to it. Have they issued a communique yet?
The school board?
I should have walked in on that meeting and told them that I quit.
Why, Brooks? You really care.
Of course I care.
Do you see much of the coach these days?
Sometimes we pass in the hall. He's polite.
Well, I guess the board meeting broke up hours ago.
If they decided something about me, I just wish they'd let me know.
They will.
I can be sure of that.
Where'd you get those faces?
Oh, hold on, Jane.
They're Bob's and Mrs. Allen. I glued them. I glued the other one, too.
Glued them.
If you look close, you can see the crack.
That's all right. It just makes it more antique.
My advice is unglue it. Unglue it. Miss Brooks?
Oh, they're not making a mess in the music room, are they?
Yes, a big
I'm sorry. I'll straighten it up after the play.
No, what did you think about the dress rehearsal?
The play?
It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
You mean you liked it?
I couldn't hardly believe it was Jane and Ted and Marge and Elsie and Doris up there. I'm glad you took over. I've never been able to handle it.
Oh, of course you would. It's all worked out in the playbook. It's a wonderful story.
Because it has a real meaning. I've never been so moved since from sport.
Well, that's awfully kind.
I bet it will. It's almost time for a piece.
The play must truly be a hit. There's been a big run on the original play in the library. I'd better get up front. Miss Finch? Yes? Why did you advise me to unglue the vase? Because Mrs. Allen probably already collected the insurance money. And Brooks, if there's any help, I disassociate myself too. I did the wrong thing when I broke it. Then I did the wrong thing when I fixed it.
I know, dear. That's the story of my life. Say, do you see anything of Ted off stage?
Sometimes we pass in the hall. He's sort of
Polite? Anyway, you catch up with him on stage.
nice the last night. After the curtain goes down, it's all over.
Still, you'll be seeing him around.
From the grandstand, he'll be pretty busy. He has lots of activities. Baseball, driving that English hot rod, and no more play rehearsals to make up for it.
I'm sorry.
Just the same, I'm glad about the play, and I'll never forget.
You put an awful lot into your part.
Tonight, when it comes to the part where, I'm supposed to kiss him, it won't be Helen and Conway. It'll be me and Ted, and it'll be like I was kissing him goodbye.
Jane, maybe he really doesn't know how you feel. Maybe if he knew, then things would be different.
He'll know, believe me, he'll know.
It's too bad the coach and I don't have the same part to play.
Isn't it?
Yes, I guess it is.
Never had trouble like that for basketball. Well, maybe if you all knew how comfortable basketball game can get. Oh, hello.
Time's getting short.
It is.
I'm not nervous. It'll be all over when you know it.
I guess so.
My lone Ted might fight for the part.
How about it?
Very much in character.
Just an idea I had.
Oh, but it's a real help. An authentic touch.
thinking of getting one of my own.
Wasn't the price cut down on your wind? It looks perfect, though. It really suits your character. It sort of makes you look like
A big dope. Anyway, it'll be fine for the play.
ideal.
I came back to wish you good luck on the play and everything.
Oh, thanks, Hugo.
I happened to pass the gym last night. You were working pretty late.
Oh, just clearing up a few odds and ends.
She does all the work for the play. She keeps classes going, judges debates, grades papers.
Still has time to study up on sailing.
At least she doesn't get you to hide the basketballs and make off with the band instruments.
Jane, we'd better assemble the others. The boys have quite a sense of humor.
Hey, Jane.
Miss Brooks!
It's close to time. You gentlemen will have to excuse us.
Oh, I must have said something.
You both must have said something. Only especially you. I don't think she liked the crack about studying up on sailing.
I was just trying to make a joke.
Swell joke. All the work she does. And she takes the time to study up on sailing. To please you. And how do you show your appreciation? At a time the school board has their job on the line.
At least I don't gobble down 3 Swiss steaks, and then in the next breath, accuse the person who gave them to me of embezzling the ticket money.
Well, I misunderstood.
And that crack you made about the basketballs and the band instruments, that didn't help. That's a darn sweet girl.
I know it.
So why don't you treat her better?
Because I don't ever get a chance to.
Well, what's stopping you?
Everything. I don't know how to handle anything. You should see when we pass through the hall.
Sort of distantly polite. Yeah, the same way with Miss Brooks.
What bothers me is, after tonight, it's all over. This is part of the play where Jane and I sort of kiss. I guess when we come to it tonight, it'll be just like saying goodbye.
Well, maybe if you told her how you feel.
She's bound to know something.
Yeah, she's better Miss Brooks than I will.
You, Miss Brooks, what?
Nothing, I was just thinking.
What was that you had to tell me?
This pain in my side, really sharp.
Have you eaten anything special?
No, normal diet, just Cokes and potato chips.
What side is it on?
It's here.
Oh, you don't suppose.
What's it like?
Pain's sharp and it feels hard.
Uh-oh.
Feels like when I need a big dose of salt.
No, you don't.
Oh gosh, it hurts.
Thomas Finch, you'll have to be looked at.
All the dumb times to get a pain.
Maybe the hospital down the street might be able to do something.
What? What is it? Do you have your car? Yes. There's a chance Martin has appendicitis.
What?
I'll take him right to the hospital.
Hey, wait a minute.
Hey, you better go.
What about the play?
What about Martin?
Come along. Say, what about the play?
Yeah, what are you going to do about the play?
Everybody's out there, waiting.
What else would I do?
I sure don't know.
Where's Martin going?
Anything wrong?
Martin has a bad pain in his side.
He was complaining, but where's he going?
Miss Finch is taking him to the hospital.
Just because he has a pain? Who's going to play the high llama? What about the play?
We're thinking about it.
What good does that do?
We can't stop the play now.
Miss Brooks, I asked you, what are you going to do?
After all the work, the rehearsal,
Come on, it's almost time.
I'm so excited.
The biggest turnout that we've ever had. Do you want to talk, or should I?
You go ahead.
We've been discussing you. The school board helped me.
Discussing me, some of your strange methods and techniques.
And while they're all not approved of either, the entire board seemed to feel that, well, the dress rehearsal was magnificent. This will be the finest play we've ever had. I've been directed to you. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Rhonda, you were wonderful. We're all overjoyed. Mother, there isn't going to be a play. No play. There won't be any play.
What's this girl talking about?
Mr. Wadsworth, you see,
One of the boys,
Martin,
he plays the high llama. He plays the hospital.
Hold it! What about it?
I'm afraid he may be sick.
You're afraid he may be?
Well, there are signs of appendicitis.
Where is he? What sign?
She sent him to the hospital.
To the hospital? Now? What about the play?
That's what I asked her. It should be starting now.
Well, if it is appendicitis,
Well,
I
of
just...
course, if it is. But how do you know?
Well, I just thought...
Do you have a medical degree?
Well, no.
Have you ever studied medicine?
No.
Then why'd you do it?
I read an article once.
Where?
Reader's Digest.
And on the basis of that?
Yes?
I think the board should reconvene Monday.
What am I going to tell everybody? What am I going to do?
The band's all ready.
Hold it.
But it's time!
I said hold it.
Yes, Mr. Wadsworth. The hospital's just down the street. I can call and see if Martin will go ahead.
I better call myself.
If we hurry, maybe we can get him back before it's too late.
The band can pay a few extra numbers.
I better call. Brooks! Oh!
Some of our relatives have traveled hundreds of miles just to see Rhonda.
And maybe Martin has some relatives too.
Please. I think you did it on purpose.
I'd better tell the others to relax.
After all the work we put in, I remember my lines now.
After the work they put in, they're all so disappointed.
You did the right thing. You did.
I'm sorry, Jean.
Me too.
There's something I wanted to tell you. And at that one part of the play, you'd know.
It was something you would know too.
I feel so awful.
There was only something I could do. I used to be in plays, but I could never learn lines that fast.
It's an easy part. The high llama doesn't move about. He just stays in a chair upstage.
Well, if the prompter could feed me the lines.
Wouldn't work. He wears a big robe. Why couldn't you have the playbook open on your lap? No one can see.
Well, it wouldn't be good, but maybe it would pass.
You go, would you? Oh, it just might work.
Of course, why not?
My gosh!
The play could go on.
Do you know the play at all?
Well, I read the book 3 times.
The playbook and Martin's costume. They're in my office.
I better look it over quick.
Come on.
I'm so glad.
We should tell Mr. Wadsworth and Mrs. Allen.
And Rhonda.
I suppose he'll be back with her father's sports car tomorrow.
Well, my dad and I found a bargain. We're getting one of our own now.
You did? Can I come for a drive sometime?
I want you to.
About what you said, I would know if certain parts, is it where I ask you, don't go?
Then you... And I would never. You'll see.
We should go get the others.
Right.
The way I remember it, Conway has come to Shangri-La, way off in the mountains of Tibet, where they have collected a lot of art and literature there. And the High Lama wishes it to stay away from all wars.
This leader at Shangri-La, that's you. The High Lama knows he's about to die, and he's asked Conway to roll in his place. Here's his big speech. It's the heart of the play. Would you try it?
Sure, why not? The storm outside will be such as one as the world has never seen before. There will be no safety in arms, no help for authority, no answer in science. It will rage till every flower of culture is trampled and all human things are leveled in a vast chaos. I believe you will live through the storm, and after through the long desolation, you will conserve the fragrance of history. You will welcome the stranger and teach him the rule of age and wisdom. Beyond that, my vision weakens, but I see a new world stirring in the ruins, seeking its lost literature and legendary treasures in that dark age. And they'll be here, preserved as by a miracle, for a new renaissance.
Thank you.
Quite a play. Kind of makes you wish there really was a Shangri-La.
You know, a teacher makes her own Shangri-La. In a way, she preserves things by passing them on to her students. Though I may never make it to the mountains of Tibet, or even go sailing to Martinique or the Grenadines.
Miss Brooks, thank God you sent him right over. It was appendicitis.
He's all right?
With time, I feel like such a fool. I hope you'll accept my apologies.
Should I start the band now?
No.
Yes! The play's going on. Hugo's going to handle the role.
Hugo? But how could you?
I have hidden talents.
You do?
He does.
Well, then let's get going.
I don't know.
Miss Brooks, is it true?
It's true.
You see,
There's the band now, right on time.
That's it. Oh no, my line.
Don't think about it.
Coach, how come? You handle your part, I'll handle mine.
Sylvia, you take over.
are you scared?
Not anymore.
Now move to the first scene. Take your places. Elaine, Faith, Stanley, Doris, Rhonda. On stage.
About never sailing to Martinique or the Grenadines, we can talk about that later.
Will we?
Say, doesn't this play call for you to kiss anybody?
We can discuss that later, too.
March, Elsie, go. Hey, Jane, get ready.
Just a little while now. You'll see.
Okay, race it.
Curtain going up. This is only the beginning. Russell can hear me, could you come out here?
There she is. Come on.
We just wanted to thank you for all your help and putting up with us.
Thank you very much. Let me say a few words about this cast. They were faced with great adversity. Wednesday, our lighting box essentially wouldn't work anymore, and we had no lights. Thursday, we had an electrician come in. This week. Thursday, we had an electrician come in. He worked all day, half through the night, and said it might work Friday and Saturday, no guarantees. My lighting crew, who I owe my entire life to now, came in Friday morning. By Friday night, we had lights, as you can see. They deserve a very special round of applause. Their leadership has been invaluable. We had some difficulties getting some people to rehearsals at the beginning and things like that, and they really rallied around and got everybody in person and made this production what it is. We also deserve And the last thanks is to you for coming and able to make theater what it is, having the audience, the applause, the laugh. They weren't quite used to working with those who didn't have those training rehearsals. We thank you very much. Thank you.